Hello and welcome to the show. We are here on Forza Horizon 4 with our first multiplayer racing. We have got a selection of the Formula Drift cars. In fact, we've pretty much got all of the Formula Drift cars in one way or another. And naturally, we are going to take them to a rather difficult terrain. We're going to go off-roading, primarily on muddy surfaces. We're going to do a little bit of snow rallying with Formula Drift cars. This lot is all stock, or while PIs vary slightly between them, you know, these are very much out of their comfort zone. So we should have some interesting times. I've gone for an unusual one. You would expect me to be in the Viper or the Ute, but instead I've gone for this yellow and blue car, sorry, because I think it's a really, really nice livery, basically. It's a really nice looking car, and it's something a little bit different for me. So there we go. We are going to get started. I apologise for the pinging. There are things we are learning. There are things we are learning about this game. Are you going to bring up the starter race, or is the starter race up this end? It might be up this end. Sometimes it is over this end. Sometimes you have to go out of the way a little bit to get it to pop up, get the races to appear, and so on. Send the invites to my convoy, and we will create our event. So this is a pretty nasty little course that we've got selected here. It is predominantly mud, and that meant, I say it's predominantly mud, it's a muddy and fairly nasty dirt road, which means we're going to have some light rain. Spring, I think, is the muddiest of times, and time early afternoon works for me. And then we shall go. How on earth my car is going to fare? How on earth anyone's car is going to fare? We're not really sure, but it should be fun. In fact, I actually went up here not in such conditions, I think, on a stream, but we'll give it a try with the 240. So here we are to the circuit. I'm not sure if I want to start at the front or further back, to be fair. Maybe on I'm not going to be on pole. You see, at the front, you might stand a chance of running away and staying out of trouble. In the middle, you might get caught up in trouble. At the back, you might stand a chance of... It's just going to be a case of be quite careful coming towards this first corner, because there's going to be a lot of quite slidey and a little bit potentially out of control cars. The surface, we'll be driving on probably one of the tougher surfaces, maybe outside of sand. Unfortunately, there are no races that focus primarily on sand. We're going to be on the very thick mud, which for a rear-wheel drive, high-powered car like this one is far from ideal. It is a good start for the Nissan. Don't want to go too much diving up the inside there. We've got a very, very good start. Got a very good run, actually, out of that first corner as we go up alongside the Mustang. Too much sliding from me. Tyre-wise, these cars are not going to have the best of grip out here on the mud. We're at 40 miles an hour. I'm going to slither my way past there. We've actually got pretty good... I will say, the Nissan here has got pretty damn good traction for a drift car on mud. There's some tandem drifting going on up ahead at 60 odd miles an hour, as you do. This is kind of the fight for second place. The leader is making a little bit of an escape at the front. I'm going to end up hitting this group of cars and not really have anywhere to go for a little while at least. We'll hit the concrete barrier as well. That also diminishes your options of places to go. Oh, there's a Mustang on the outside. We're 4 wide almost. Oh, that's an amazing... Fair play. I got caught. I should have gone for the outside line. I got just stuck on that inside line with nowhere to go. We're all now trying to cut back under one another. I'm gonna have no go down there, am I? Not quite. It was worth a look. Yeah, I've just hit traffic. And I can't do anything. God damn it! Where are we gonna find ways past? We're gonna have to be brave because it's now starting to get pretty fast. There's a tad bit of a wall tap. Right there, we are at least clear of anything from behind for now. That's very close to a checkpoint. That was very, very close to a checkpoint. I'm playing this quite risky, trying to make up time. Got a good run on another Nissan, I think. We'll make that one stick. I kind of want a top 4. I kind of want a podium. Kind of want to win, really, but, you know, you've got to go for what you think you might be able to achieve, and at the moment it's looking like 4th might be as highest as we can get. If I don't make any silly mistakes, there's a little bit of pinging off of the wall. I keep the Nissan out of trouble. These things are sketchy to drive on the dirt. They're very, very sketchy. The Mustangs have got each other into trouble. I'm going to sneak past one, lean on the second, not going to work. I don't want to go around the outside here. We're going to duck underneath. Can I get both of them? No, I might get one of them, though, as we head up towards the tarmac section for the run to the line. It's not going to be able to get the 4th. We might... Oh, I lost the 2 of the places. So that amazing around the outside overtake was then undone before the end of the race. Fair play. Nissan took victory, followed by a Mustang, Maloo, Mustang, my Nissan, a Nissan in 6th. Nissan's were pretty good call. Mustang, BMW, and a Viper. Unfortunately down at the bottom. May well have missed a checkpoint, judging by the time difference right there. It was a good first race. It was a good first race for Formula Mud Drifting. I think that should be its official name. So, our next race brings us to the Mud Kickers 4x4 Park. This is a pretty extreme area, while I would, and I will at some point, inevitably, once the course creator is around, build a much better layout to race through here, race around here. This is the one that the game gives us. There is more tarmac in this, that is true. We start on tarmac, kind of the start-finish is straight, is tarmac. However, we do head through the, I mean, it's kind of damp tarmac, and we do head through the mud, I say mud part, that's probably the best way to describe it, basically, because it is just pure pure bog that we are going to be driving these Formula Drift cars through. Oh, no, squeeze around the outside, now that'll work. That'll do the trick. Actually, that does do the trick. We're up to 2nd. Here, traction is, well, difficult to find. Also, the jumps and the puddles. Yeah, we've got to watch out for the puddles. Oh, here's the first front flip. Nicely landed. Well done. I mean, almost landed it without losing too many. There's only three positions for a front flip, for an accidental front flip. I think it's a pretty good trade-off. So, the Mustang leads, followed by a Nissan, followed by a Nissan, followed by a Nissan, followed by a Nissan, followed by an angry pack of cars. Let's try and vacate said angry pack of cars, please. Right, beautiful, lovely, grippy tarmac. Not beautiful, lovely, grippy car. I'm still in cautiously mode, I think, at the moment, having been trying to drive through the mud. Honestly, I'm not sure I'm the best driver of these vehicles. However, we're in 3rd at the moment. There is still, you know, opportunities for maybe moving a little bit forward. Mustang in the concrete barrier, but actually been pretty fast through that first corner. See, I'm going for a much higher gear approach here. I'm not sure whether that's going to be the way to go. Puddle was definitely not okay. We've learned something important there. Don't go through the puddle. Go out wide. You're much better off going out wide and avoiding the puddles, because funnily enough, the drift cars don't really like them. I don't want to join the front flipping brigade if I can help it. We've got through that, though, nicely. Probably got through that the best of the top 3, so I will take that. It is going to become a game I can see quite quickly developing of avoid puddles. You hit the water and you lose a lot of speed, funnily enough, in this sort of car. Actually, like, water depth is something that plays a fairly, well, I'll say, if you're trying to drive through water and trying to drive quickly through water, water depth does actually make a significant difference to what a vehicle is able to obtain. And, well, in case of these cars, they're very low to the ground, which means any water is going to slow them down a fair bit. So ideally, we're going to try and avoid it. Oh, that's a sketchy. that was a I'm barreling towards turn 1. Please, for the love of God, Nissan actually slow down. So, if Peggy's going to dive through the water, I'm going to try and just nick the edge of the water. We'll probably see most of the cars doing that if they can. I want to try and get through that puddle there with as little... There we go. Okay, that's the line I want to take through there. I was just trying to find the narrowest part through the water so we can minimise any sort of time loss, because we've had a pretty good mud section. That was very close. Now, I did see the rear bumper clip through the checkpoint. I was aiming for the wobbly movie checkpoint that had just been hit going for that racing line. All of my hard work was undone by the slight panic at the thought of missing a checkpoint, and I pressed a button as I went to turn into the corner. Been a while since I've done the accidental change of camera while steering and faffing around with gears. The downside of the way I hold the controller, the control scheme that I use, is that, yeah, your finger kind of rests over the button for changing camera, and sometimes when you're in a full concentration race, you accidentally end up pressing that one. For those curious, I have A as clutch, X as gear up, B as gear down. And yeah, you're kind of quite busy on that side of the controller in this sort of race. Wow, we're jumping really bloody far. First couple of laps was really dodgy, and then it's kind of picked up a little bit. Annoyingly, I am very much unable to do anything about closing down on the leader. We had that good section, and then it's all gone a little bit pear-shaped. I don't know whether I want a lower gear through here. I feel like it's not worth it, but there we go. Yeah, I don't know if I do want a lower gear through. I don't know whether just to accept having the car sideways, but it's not really what we're seeing other cars running quickly been doing. It's just not really been working for other cars, so I don't think it's something that's worthwhile for me. We are at least pulling clear of the Mustang slightly. Oh, this is another barrel towards turn one. Panic and grab the brakes. We're not going to get away with stopping that. But we saw a front flip. That's always a bonus. We saw a front flip. We figured out not to play in the water. Wish I could have figured out a lap earlier. We might have stood a better chance. Well, I say we might have not lost positions quite as much. We figured out where I want to be through the water, which was not there, although it's still good to clear us over that part with no additional front flips. I think some cars have had issues, although I've actually had some big issues that time around there, getting going again. Oh, where is third? Third is actually now right behind us. There is third. Okay, I've had a dodgy section across the jumps. It's not what we want. Come on, Nissan, don't lose. We want a Nissan 1-2 if I can't win. And I'm going to have to try and fend off second place. The Ford's having a look. He was right there, but couldn't get the power down. Could not get going out of that corner quite well enough. If I don't do anything stupid here, the dirt there wasn't a clever idea. Don't do anything stupid, it's not going to be the time. Well, it was a little closer than I would have liked. Little closer than I would have liked on the final lap. Yeah, too much, I say, messing around. Got unlucky on the bumps. Also, there's a lot of position change. That was a massively close finish further back there. 7/10 of a second covering 4 cars. There's a fun race going on with the other Nissans in all of that. I'll take a second. Fun circuit with these cars. A front flip to boot. So, yeah, pretty good overall. Well, the mud races were pretty fun, but what happens when we go that little bit more difficult? When we take on the snow. Admittedly, this is not the most horrendously tough of rally stages. It is a little bit simpler, but it's still going to be on fairly narrow roads, and of course, roads in which we are going to have practically zero grip. In fact, this almost looks like a slushy snow. It doesn't look pleasant, really, for this sort of car. However, we are going to give it a try and see what we can do. In fact, I think there is a little bit of tarmac that we go on. It's just this brief section here, and I think the rest of it is all dirt. We are pretty much 3 wide there, and I'm going to have to back out of that because we are not all going to fit 3 wide. Fortunately, that will dump me to the very back of the field. So, oh god, no, carefully does it. What can we do about working our way back up through this group? The ute is wibbling all over the way in front of us. It's a strange selection of cars you see barrelling down towards the next corner. I'm busy trying to sneak up the inside of a 3 wide. Doesn't quite work out then, although we've got a good drive up this next section. This has been a fairly tame race so far. Little bit of bouncing off the concrete right there, but that's all right. Leader is again making a breakaway. We've seen this many a time. If you can make a breakaway in any of these races, so helpful if you can stay out of trouble. Whoa! That's a bigger jump than I was expecting. We're past the BMW. I am not stopping. Neither is the Nissan ahead of us. We're just going to have to take the hit on the concrete. poor driving by me in all of that, and a lot of the hard work has been undone. We're still ahead of one. I think may have missed a checkpoint somewhere. But, oh, God, got nose caught on the back of the ute. Just about managed to change direction. They're 4 wide up ahead in Formula Drift cars. It's 4 wide on snow. I want to get involved. I want to get involved in the 4 wide. All the 2x2. 2x2 works as well. No, don't nudge me towards the very, very solid concrete barriers. I'm going to dive underneath and I'll take 2 positions in one go. Thank you very much. This is good fun. I mean, as ever, you know, the sillier the cars we race, the better the racing we get. That is a general, fairly consistent rule of FailRace. There are some exceptions. Sometimes things don't quite pan out. But in general, silly cars make for some of the most entertaining racing. And I mean, this is pretty damn out of comfort zones for, well, the cars. This is pretty damn out. I mean, these are very, very specialised machines, and while drifting is not exactly my thing, you can still appreciate the machines, the work that goes into getting these cars to do what it is that that they do. And we are now asking them to do something really very, very different. And, well, they're holding their own. They're holding their own in as far as making an entertaining spectacle goes. For a rear-wheel drive car not on rally tyres, they're actually not too awful out here. The Ute's going to find its way back past. I'm taking a tight line through here that does seem to pay off a little bit. If I can get on the power well enough here, I might be able to sneak back up the inside, or at least make the Ute take an awkward line. Yeah, Ute's taking an awkward line. He's stuck out on the thicker snow, although he's carried a good amount of speed there. There doesn't, as far as I am aware, seem to be very much in the way of ice patches, like we saw on Blizzard Mountain in Horizon 3. When it gets to the winter season, on 4, there doesn't seem to be too much in the... There doesn't seem to be any ice patches to worry about, where you really will have 0 grip. But I could be wrong. There might be some... I might come across some that I don't know about. I'm kind of half waiting for there to be a surprise in one of these races where you get to a corner and just everyone skates off because no one was expecting the sudden lack of grip. But yeah, so far we haven't seen one. Have I got that Ute? Well, that's how I got that Ute. I'm just that little bit further away that he can't have a dive. I'm not having to worry about defending as of yet. I'm not sure what car is up ahead of us. I think it might be a Ute again, but it's going to be too far away, bar any big mistakes or missed checkpoints. That was a silly mistake by me. Dove too much to the inside, although helpfully for me I ended up kind of going back up the circuit or across the circuit, and the Ute behind had nowhere to go. We are around what is the kind of final corner. Big jump for the Nissan. Oh, I think behind the Ute and something. I think something yellow, probably a Nissan like mine, got tangled. Ooh, 58.3 is a quick lap time. I did stuff up the final lap. There might be a little bit more speed. I've been pretty good elsewhere, but apparently on the snow, not quite the surface for me there. A good fun race, nevertheless, though, and some decent. That's actually quite a lot of money for what was not a particularly long race. More money than we'd seen in That's apparently not a bad amount of XP and money for that for that race. Not quite enough to level up, annoyingly. And our final race of the Formula Muddy / Snowy Drift. I think that might need to slightly shorten it, but we are going to take on the Wiggly Mountain Road. There is a little bit of tarmac at the end of this one. I think it might be a bit of tarmac at the start, actually, but it's predominantly we're going to climb over the mountain. It is perhaps one of the best of the rally roads. I haven't gone for quite the full blizzard. This is apparently heavy snow, but there we go. Yeah, the Nissan, pretty damn solid car actually, getting off the line compared to the rest of the field. I mean, it's going to be slidey through here. I hadn't been as slidey as that, to be fair. BMW is up to the lead. BMW's into the fences, and I shouldn't have followed it over there. That's not an ideal place. Well, we've got 3 different cars in the top 4 at this moment in time. Who knows how long that's going to last for. Oh, I'm trying not to run into the back of everybody as we head into, well, the off-road section. It's 3 wide on the bridge. Oh, physics got angry at us for the 3 wide on the bridge moment. I actually got a surprise physics didn't get angrier with that one. That's probably a better line up the inside. Apparently on, oh God, if you lose momentum out here, you are really in trouble. This is quite thick snow now. and I have lost that momentum, that all important momentum. I don't actually know if I want to go down a gear or not here. Christ, this stuff's horrible out here. This is really not good. And as soon as you start going sideways, you're a goner. It was my turn initially. Twisty's got in trouble, although I've now helped him get going again. Don't put the rock in front of me. We don't want to fight that. I'm now taking that tighter inside line, although around the outside you might get a better exit of the corner. We've all crisscrossed. I don't even know what happened to one of the cars, whether they missed a checkpoint or where they went. Something went weird with someone. Here we're having trouble. I'm having a world of trouble on this particular course. Apparently, the mud I was good at. The snow I am terrible at. I mean, I'd say I don't think it's really the Nissan's fault. Although the other Nissan has fallen to fifth. I don't know if there are any higher up Nissans than that. I don't really think it's the Nissan's fault. I just think I'm suddenly not able to extract too much performance out of my vehicle as everyone's busy buggering off. Well, if we're going to fight, at least we're going to have someone to fight with for sixth place, although I think you might have missed the checkpoint there. I guess we will find out in the near future if that car suddenly teleports backwards. We've got a good run. You had a bump, didn't want that. Oh, God, you really don't want to be stuck fighting in the snow. Oh, up this hill. I don't want to be bouncing across the rocks either, because that loses you all of your momentum. Don't know. And just sticking your foot down is not really going to help. I've got very little go on the way up the hill. Oh, you're going to go around the outside of us, maybe, towards the next corner. Stop it, stop going sideways, car. I know you're a drift car. It's not really helping. Plenty of Morse code has been done on the back of my vehicle. This race has all gone all sorts of horribly wrong for me, although the other Nissans had a bad time as well. So all three Nissans have found... I'm very sorry, I was nudged towards you. Oh, there's been some more either spins or missed checkpoints. Oh, I like how the car, I think the cars blink just before they're going to go back into being a solid entity. That's quite a helpful thing to let you know when cars are leaving ghost mode and so on. I'm not going to be able to fight with that, although my plan is to try and get underneath, although we've all got... no one's got the braking down yet for these corners. I'm not wanting to use too much steering lock. While these two cars have got a crazy amount of steering lock, I don't actually want to use too much of it, predominantly because it's shrugging off speed, and that's one of the issues we've had up there, was trying to get... not lose too much momentum climbing the hill. The hill's been a bit scrappy. I have got my way back hard. Apologise for the nudge, but I needed to stay on that line to make the checkpoint. I couldn't really go anywhere else. Unfortunately, we are back onto tarmac for the sprint towards the finish, and it's not tandem drifting, it's tandem understeering into a wall, because we've got race tyres, or kind of equivalents of, on drift cars. It wasn't a good race. Well, it was a fun enough race. It was a fun enough race for me. Not a great finishing position in the end of all of that. Yeah, the Nissans were not amazing on that course. BMW took victory from Mustang, then the Maloo, followed by the three Nissans, couple of Mustangs further back, another Nissan, and a Maloo would round out the bottom of the table. Formula muddy drifting, pretty good fun. Had some fairly close racing in all of that. Apparently, either my driving style / the car put together does not seem to work on the snow in this. On the mud it was very good, but on the snow was not working out for me. But, I mean, as ever, it's good fun taking cars a million miles outside their comfort zone, and this is very much one of those instances, and they still put up a very big fight. Just don't lose any momentum when you're messing around on the snow, because they really can't get going again. Before we leave, I do have at least one wheel spin to do, and I seem to have way more luck doing wheel spins on camera than I do when I'm off camera. So we'll give it a go. This might be a bad... yeah. There's one away from a Vulcan. God damn it. Either way, I highly recommend you have a go. Race some Formula Drift cars off-road, and you'll have a lot of fun. You might understeer quite a lot, swiftly followed by 40-mile-an-hour oversteer, but it is rather good fun. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.